Thank you, Mr. President. Those who know me, I don't come to the well very often. Those who've worked with me know I do a lot of things behind the scenes and in this chamber. But let me tell you, the Senator for the 42nd got up here and made an excellent legal point that it was unclear what this bill does in the sense of either is it a pro-choice bill or an anti-choice bill, or whatever language you choose to use. But it's unclear. Well, the senator from the 40th came up here and said he was unclear what exactly he would do in a certain situation. And the senator from the 28th came up here, and answering a question from the senator from the 34th was not as clear as he probably needed to be. Well, it's very clear to me. It's clear to me as a husband, as a father. I'm a minority, not just in this chamber, but I'm a minority at home. I have 2 daughters, and I obviously have a wife. And it is clear as day on this bill there are no exceptions when it comes to the issue of rape or incest. So let's talk about rape. Those who've known me, I've served in this chamber now for 8 years. Some of you have met my wife, who's come down here several times. Some of y'all have met my daughters, they've paged down here. Just like anything, time flies. My daughter is now a freshman in college, 20 years old, far away from Georgia. Unfortunately, I couldn't convince her to stay here. She went out of state. And I have a 17-year-old daughter, too. And by the way, I'm a state employee. And I'm happy to mention the fact that, guess what? I take state health insurance as a state employee. But obviously, it's the intention of the author of this bill that he's going to decide for my daughters and my wife if, God forbid, either one of them or 3 of them, any of them were raped, in the decision of what they need to do in that situation. That's what this bill does. Now, I'm fortunate that most of our state employees, in fact, most of us in this chamber are very fortunate compared to most of our state employees. If we want to talk about the issue of affordability, if that issue came up and that decision that my wife or my daughters had to make, I'm in a position that I could pay for it if that procedure was necessary. And most of the folks in this room are in that position too. But as we all know about our state employees, let's just say we're definitely not at the top of the list when it comes to pay. We just had a 17% increase in state health insurance this past year. We haven't had a raise for state employees in years. So it's clear what the intention of this bill is. As a state employee, we're going to make this decision for you if you're raped, or God forbid, you're a victim of incest. That's clear. So let's all just make sure we understand on at least this issue what is clear. Mr. President, I will definitely be voting no on this bill. To sit here and tell my wife and my daughters on exactly what they have to do on this issue makes me very angry when it comes to this issue. Mr. President, I yield the well.